Good morning all, hope you're doing well. Just looking at the Dixie and we're still positive and it's just relentless. It's absolutely going parabolic, so be really careful with the USD. Technical scores really dumped and the VIX went into rocket mode, and it was a 12% move yesterday, so quite risk off. Indices obviously fell quite heavy, and individual companies also fell as well. And interestingly, the FTSE remained sort of neutral, but that's not to worry really. So yeah, basically that's been reset at 12 out of 100. So we'll have to see how we go. Big shift on the 24-hour change. If it continues like this, then obviously we'll be more risk off tomorrow. If it continues, then we'll be more risk off, and then if we continue at this rate, then we'll possibly be risk off at the big picture, which is that sell by Monday. So you've got to be really careful, okay? QDB scores, and we can reset them now, sort them out. So CAD Swiss at the top, and we've got Aussie CAD at the bottom, and that's been at the bottom for a while. And yeah, that's what it is. So the inflation data came out, it wasn't as hot as expected, so I have to keep an eye on Aussie. And so that's the spreadsheet taken care of, okay? So quite risk off, especially that 24-hour difference. It's a bit ominous. Like I said, on Monday we had the heads up of this move from the 24-hour difference over time. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at indices and gold and S&P. So we kind of personally, from a robot perspective, we need this to pump because we need risk on, right? So if this is going to fall, we're going to encounter hundreds and hundreds of pips of loss on our robot, because it's opened up a lot of risk on trades. And so obviously you can see this is quite risk off, so we need them to sell, and so we get the buy. Okay, so we might have to see a flush 4267, then that should seal the deal. It should cement their fears, and by falling it should cause their sentiment to come down, and then we're going to get a buy, right? It's possibly we're going to have a horrible week on the robot. It's just bad timing with the indices, and see, this is falling, so this is going to hurt the robot. Okay, so we did flip to sell the big picture here, and that tells us that they're net long, so we're 51% long. So that's very unusual for an index, for the herd to be buying on average. They need to be selling at that level, at that net level. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. It's unusual this does occur for too long. Normally they're selling for a protracted amount of time. They're always normally really bearish, and they're bullish in a short period. Okay, so this probably isn't going to last that long, and then we're going to go into buy. So have to wait and see. And DAX is probably going to be quite ugly, like the US. Yeah, look at that. And see, they'd gone long. Admittedly, they sold a little bit, and then they went long. Boom. And then they started going long. Boom. And every time they do it, they create a supply. So every time we get the crossover, you can just map a box, and that's going to be a resistance. And we've got a resistance box on that candle. So if we do come up, we're going to encounter some difficulties. Now the robot is undergoing a lot of drawdown, and that's on the micro lot. So there's a guy in Telegram saying, should I put 0.1? No, if you did, you'd be $620 into drawdown. So don't do that, especially on the small account. He was saying have a $1,000 account and have 0.1. If you did, then you'd be get a margin called. Okay, so this is why you want to do micro lots with a small account like this. And if you had a much larger account, then you could possibly increase your sizes. And that's it. So we do need some risk on for this, and then we're probably going to be okay. I was kind of thinking about getting out of break even, but have to wait and see. I think probably we'll just have to let it run, and if we get stopped out, at least it's a demo. And you guys aren't doing live yet because we're still testing, like I've been saying all the time. And also, just so you know, I did wake up at 4 AM to check the robot, and it's actually performed worse since 4 AM. We were about 49, minus 49, so we're now minus 62. So it's getting a little bit worse over time. So like I say, we just have to be patient, and it's just really bad timing, because had the indices not have fallen this would have been okay. Alright, this is at the whims of the indices, and the indices are at the whims of the treasury yields. And the big fish decide what they want to do with that. So we've got a Powell speech tomorrow, so it could be setting up for a nice buy the dip opportunity, but it's potentially we're going to possibly get stopped out before Powell, and then we're going to have a humongous loss, a deficit to our account, and it's going to erase the last 2 weeks. Alright, so just so you guys know, and I guess we'll just keep with the same logic, but perhaps we can look at the regularity of the signals, because we probably shouldn't have created so many. The spreadsheet does it it triggers a trade upon sell change, but it should have triggered it every hour. It's a bit weird, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. So I'll need to investigate, and I wish you a good day. So keep your fingers crossed that the robot pans out, and we do need some risk on, and this needs to improve. So if you've got some spare time today, open up the Risk Calc and check that, and see if we actually go green on the difference over time. So trade safely. And I'll have to see how we go with the robot. Hopefully it works out. If not, it's not too much of a worry, because we're still testing on demo. And yeah, that's all I can say. So I wish you a good day. Trade safely, know your exits, and I'll speak to you guys soon.